Today, I'm responsible for the human resources at Sonocrete and also the recruiting. So let's start. At first, what does Sonocrete? Sonocrete deals with the topic of concrete. No matter where you are in this moment, you will see concrete. Maybe in the walls, in the floor, and we have pillars, for example. And concrete is the most important building material. And right after water, it is the most used resource in the world. But the problem is that the cement and concrete production is responsible for over 8% of the global carbon emission. And so let's have a look on concrete. Concrete mainly consists of three components. You see here, water, cement, and gravel and sand. These components get mixed and they get hard. So here's the problem. The cement is made from limestone, and which is ground and heated to a very high temperature. And in this process, the fossil carbon is emitted. You can say from the stone. Oh, this was too fast. So now came Sonocrete into play. What we do is actually simple. We take a part of the cement and the water, mix it, and sonicate it with high power ultrasound. This procedure activates the cement and accelerates the hardening process. So you can say Sonocrete is a pre-mixing system that accelerates the reaction of the cement and increases early compressive strength. These effects, the effect is that you can reduce the cement and hence the carbon emissions. And these two effects are very important to the concrete industry. So where do we stand right now? We are not at the market yet, but we are working towards to the market start. Currently, we are building our first industrial scale prototype, and this will go to a real concrete plant in 3 weeks and will run there for a couple of days and support the concrete production. And we will have the first ultrasound systems ready and installed by the end of the next year. This means these are exciting times at Sonocrete. And this is our team. We are founded in 2018, and now we are a fantastic team of 13 people, and they have all various backgrounds, like civil engineers, mechanical engineers, scientists, business economists, and electrical engineers. And we need help. So if you want to be a part of the future of concrete, you can join us as an employee, or also you can also write your thesis with us. So yes, that's from my side. If you have questions, for example, of the chemical sides, Ricardo is here.
So in a nutshell, to say Sonocrete is an amazing startup, which deals with a material which is about 2,000 years old, and bringing the material into a new century, the century of sustainability. And this is really hard because the concrete production and cement production worldwide is a really conservative business, and we are facing many challenges from the customer side, from the material side. So it's very interesting. It's an industry field which is changing right now. to meet the future demands of sustainable construction. And we are right in the center of this changing industry, and we're really looking forward to see you as possible new members of the Sonocrete team, as students, or for an internship also. So there are many ways or possibilities to join Sonocrete, and so no, we are happy to answer your questions, if any.
Yeah, thank you very much. So that is very interesting. A very young company, founded in 2018. So just 3 years. You are not in business at the moment, but you are starting it. So it's very exciting. I think also at the most for you, I think.
So, of course, yeah.
So thank you for your presentation. At the moment, I don't see a question in the chat. I also ask you, if you have a question, you can unmute and ask the question in the video conference. You were talking about a very conservative business.
Yeah,
but I think it's also a business with a very big potential. Yeah, you mentioned one number, 8% of the CO2 of the overall CO2 emissions of the humankind came from concrete or from cement production.
Yeah, just from the cement production. If you count all the concrete, it's even more.
Right.
The trucks on the road and the cement, which is transported in trucks all over the world, and so on. Yeah, but it's 8%. It's quite a lot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But so that means that it's a very big potential in CO2 saving, because I just want to give you just one number. The total CO2 emission of airplanes, all the air traffic, is, I think, 3%, and there's already 1 or 2% of these 3% is regarding the emission of water in the higher atmosphere, what also reacts as a greenhouse gas. So that means that the potential is 3 times higher just with the cement production for concrete than in the air traffic.
Right. If we say it in other words, already some minor or small or changes can really have huge benefits on the whole emissions of the cement industry. So this is something we are working on, and we are working really close together with the cement industry and the concrete industry to help and to meet their future carbon perspectives. So this is one of our aims. So we not focus on one concrete producer. So we are working with all. For the whole construction industry, important players together, cement industry, the admixtures industry. So we have our own R&D regarding the interactions of different types of admixtures with cement and cement with ultrasound. And so this is very, if we have a look on such a concrete pillar or something like that, it's just a gray stone, an artificial gray stone. But this is a very sensitive material at the very beginning. And just minor changes at the very beginning can have huge effect on later age strength, on the durabilities, and so on. So this is one of our research fields, is to understand the behavior of cement and admixtures when we sonicate this material to improve the properties. So there's a lot of research to do for us. And so we are working really close together with the university in Cottbus to use their labs, and we're really working close together with the university in Weimar, which is in the center of Germany. There is our analytical part for investigation. So we are using all types of analytical investigations, from macroscopic tests like compressive strength testing up to scanning electron microscopy, where we measure the size of nanometer scaled crystals. So yeah, altogether we facing and we tackling the problem from all sides we are able to. So
yeah,
that's from our side.
Right. So I don't know. Did we had a question? Uluwatosin, did you have a question? I thought I've seen that you had activated your camera.
Don't seem so. If there are questions afterwards, you can contact us, of course, via LinkedIn or via hello@sonocrete.com. That's no problem. We are really happy to answer your questions if there are questions. Yeah.
And by the way, you mentioned internships.
Yeah.
We also have a platform for internships.
Okay.
I think I don't know if we have already integrated your company, a platform for internships within UNIS, so that companies can offer internships possibilities.
Okay. Sounds great. Yeah.
Yeah, and that is not only for you as a company, but also interesting for of course for our students. That's why I just want to mention it. And I think that I need to find the link. Then I just will post the link in the chat to our internship platform.
Okay, sounds great.
Yeah, so at the moment we still have some minutes. So if there's any question, please ask them. Then maybe I still have a little question. You will not be able to avoid the CO2 emissions in total. I think
if this would be the case, I would held this video conference from my own island. And no, this is not the case, because what's the origin of the carbon emissions is what reacts on the end in the concrete. So we still need something that reacts, and until there is no other completely other material, and until we are hanging on the calcium, which is responsible for the carbon emissions, this is, so we need to use other technologies to avoid carbon emissions. But our approach is to reduce as much as possible there, and the rest can be captured, for example, with CCS. So the cement industry is really forcing CCS, CCU technologies for their cement plants, but this is a really expensive procedure, and so it makes sense to reduce the carbon emissions or the usage of the really reactive material to an absolutely necessary minimum, in order that the prices for cement will not rise so much due to the CCS or CCU technology usage. Yeah.
Okay. In the meantime, Franziska, thank you, Franziska, has posted the link to our internship platform.
Great.
So that everyone can have a look on this. I think that we still need to put the German companies on the platform anyhow. We were a little bit late because of some issues. So at the moment there are no German companies, but anyhow this platform will be, it's not just at the moment active, it will be active for the coming years, so to say.
Okay, great. Well, so that's from our side. Feel free to write us or to have a look on our website. If there are questions, we are also available on LinkedIn, and feel free or do not hesitate to contact us. Goodbye.
Yeah, thank you very much for your presentation. Now we are even ahead of the schedule. I think the